Off the book for the Dallas Cowboys is defensive tackle Neville Gallimore signing with the Miami Dolphins. Dallas is finally being mentioned in potential additions, though, as per the NFL Network. There's mutual interest between them and free agent running back A.J. Dillon. The Giants and Colts also mentioned as potential suitors, while the Texans made another move today, trading defensive tackle Malik Collins to the San Francisco 49ers for a 7th-round pick.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That goal is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
What's up, Danger? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Thank you for listening, however you may be doing that, whether that is on radio at 94.1, online at sasportstar.com, VRA Best Bail Bonds media player, or if you're one of the few in the bullpen, on our YouTube page, just go to YouTube, search SA Sports Star, like, subscribe, follow along. You can comment along in the comments section. I appreciate everybody for jumping along already in here. Daniel Batista saying Gilmore to the Dolphins. Cowboys losing yet another defensive player. Yep, that's where it begins as the Cowboys continue to lose players. And I saw a string of moves in free agency today, some lower end ones. Malik Collins, a former Dallas Cowboy, Houston Texan. He's got a new home. It frees up some cap space for the Houston Texans of about $6 million, I believe, but they trade him to the San Francisco 49ers for a 7th-round pick. And the interesting thing about that, at least to me, is the fact that they make this trade basically on a day where the 49ers are losing a defensive tackle as they replace it with another guy from Houston. Eric Armstead, released by the San Francisco 49ers officially earlier this afternoon. I wonder how long before a 713 area code or 281 starts hitting his phone, as both of them, both he and D'Amico, have talked openly, very glowingly about one another. So it's one of those matches that just seems like it's a perfect fit. Calvin Ridley going to the Tennessee Titans, 4 years, $92 million. It cost the Jacksonville Jaguars a 3rd-round pick, 79th overall, as that's going to the Falcons now as a part of that Calvin Ridley trade that they made while he was still suspended. Interesting, because it would have been a 2nd-rounder if they would have kept him or franchise tagged him. But by letting him hit free agency officially, they only had to part with a 3rd. And I'm wondering if that plan backfired on them and allowed Tennessee to come in 4 years, $92 million. Although not a fan of that contract. 4 years, $92 million for a guy who really seems like he had that huge opening week and then just kind of disappeared in Jacksonville. And I don't know if that's a product of Jacksonville's offense, Trevor Lawrence, or Calvin Ridley. And I guess we'll find out with Tennessee, as they have also added Mason Rudolph earlier today to back up Will Levis, supposedly. Tennessee is in a very weird spot in terms of you've got a quarterback. You hope he's the guy moving forward. But there wasn't a definitive that's the guy out of him outside of his very first game as a pro when he started and had that 4-touchdown game. Other than that, it's been a little suspect. But it doesn't hurt to surround your potential franchise quarterback, especially on a rookie deal, with as many weapons as you can. So you go get him Tony Pollard, you go get him Calvin Ridley, He's got a DeAndre Hopkins. So that could be a team to watch out for if you're the Houston Texans. Bobby Wagner to the Washington Commanders. 1 year, $8.5 million. And as I saw this deal come across, and I remember the potential of Wagner when he was released, teaming up with his former coordinator, Dan Quinn, in Dallas, and they passed and said, nah, we good. And it got me to wondering because Dan Quinn has taken a lot of flack for what the linebacking room or lack thereof looked like in Dallas this year. And I started to wonder. So either Dan Quinn in this 1 year aberration last season didn't want a linebacker, a true traditional linebacker in the middle at any point after Leighton Vander Esch went down. And he was cool running it with the hybrid safety. And that's it, and it was a try and a miss by him and an epic failure. And he's automatically auto course corrected after 1 year. Or he was forced into doing it. Because the front office believes in their own guys. And their own guys, well, they didn't have a lot of linebacking depth in the first place. And the one linebacker they truly had was very injury prone and on schedule, got hurt in Vander Esch, leaving an even deeper chasm in that room. Food for thought, because Dan Quinn took a whole lot of heat for not having any linebackers, and a guy who's traditionally had a lot of linebackers wherever he's been. So I don't know if it was the personnel staff, general manager, or if it was Dan Quinn's idea himself. But, I saw a tweet from RJ Ochoa of the Morning Huddle this morning after this deal came across, and he said, oh, so now Dan Quinn wants linebackers. And I was like, but he's always had this was the aberration. This year was the aberration. It didn't make any sense. Alejandro Rios in our YouTube chat says, anyone traded for Higgins yet? Not yet. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see where T. Higgins could possibly end up. It's also going to be very, very interesting to see what the Dallas Cowboys end up doing at running back, as Jane Slater came out with a report today. Heard some smoke. Something may be cooking in Dallas.
I do believe that they are working on something today. Our own Ian Rappaport talking this morning about A.J. Dillon having an eye on the Cowboys. I believe the feeling is mutual right now. So let's see how this shakes up. That would certainly make Cowboys fans happy. Why is A.J. Dillon a good fit for Dallas?
Yeah, why is A.J. Dillon a good fit for Dallas?
What they've been missing in Dallas is a big-bodied guy since Ezekiel Elliott left. This is a powerful inside runner. He plays better downhill, not sideways, and he has excellent awareness on blitz pickup. Then go pair him with a rookie in the draft.
Okay. She also mentioned a couple of rookies that they should be on the lookout for. Jonathan Brooks, the running back out of Texas, Trey Benson, and one that I actually really like outside of Jonathan Brooks is Darnell Wright. His name was mentioned, running back out of Tennessee. Feels like a good zone scheme fit. Goldfinger 123 really likes Wisconsin running back Braylon Allen. So, but the names that Slater has heard from inside the building to keep an eye out for: Darnell Wright, Trey Benson, Jonathan Brooks. But why? Why would they be looking to bring in A.J. Dillon and then draft another back on top of it?
And again, I think what the Cowboys are looking to do here is try and replicate a Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott situation. A lot of fans of that money on Derrick Henry. He was just too rich for their taste. So they want someone that's going to be, I think, somewhere in that 3 to 4 range. Remember, I told you they were kicking the tires on Zach Moss. He ultimately ended up going with Cincinnati. But I think A.J. Dillon will be very intriguing here. And then you go and draft a younger, more explosive guy. But you need a really big body guy there, specifically when you consider they're also working with the departure of Tyron Smith here, and they've already lost their center.
So they're already prepping, at least it sounds like, from what they're hearing in the building, for the loss of one Tyron Smith. What does that mean moving forward for the Dallas Cowboys as we continue to piece this thing together? We'll discuss next, right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's coming. It's almost here.
Monster Jam. A 15 seed will head to the Elite Eight.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is your home for college basketball's national championship.
On their way to their 12th national title game.
68 teams, Sweet 16, Elite 8, the Final Four. One winner takes all. Hear it all on your home for March Madness. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, presented by Westwood One.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Scott, you've had a question about radio stations?
Yes, I do. Back in the 80s, when JD and I guess Bobo were doing radios, why did stations sound so different, like in a car or something? Were they compressed or something like that?
Bob? Cocaine.
The John Clay Wolf Show, every Saturday morning.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon, right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Nothing slows my little girl down, except a stuffy nose.
Mommy.
That's why I use Sinex Children's Saline from Vicks. Sinex instantly clears mucus in everyday stuffy little noses with a gentle, ultra-fine mist designed for kids. Just Sinex? Breathe. Her stuffy nose is gone for now. And so is she.
Sinex Children's Saline. Sinex, breathe. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
With conference championships around the corner, now's the time to register for the Twin Peaks Dos Million Bracket Challenge. Sign up now at TwinPeaksBracketChallenge.com. That's TwinPeaksBracketChallenge.com. Then fill out your bracket before the tournament tips off on March the 21st. Enter for your chance to win $2 million and even more epic prizes, including a $50 Twin Peaks gift card to the top bracket from every lodge. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
Boot Barn is committed to supporting those who uphold the Western way of life. Denim plays a major role as a robust material that holds strong in a rugged environment. Since 1947, the Wrangler Authentic Western jeans have brought long-lasting denim to all who embrace the cowboy lifestyle. Boot Barn is proud to support this bold legacy, one that's just as iconic now as it was then. Wrangler at Boot Barn.
Not to brag, but Progressive's Name Your Price tool is mankind's greatest tool ever. Even better than the wheel. Sure, without the wheel, we wouldn't have modern transportation or funny videos of dogs riding skateboards. But without the Name Your Price tool, we wouldn't have easy access to auto insurance options based on our budget. And, well, cars do need wheels. They also need insurance, and insurance never goes flat. Learn more about the greatest tool ever. The Name Your Price tool at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Tri-County Meat Market, your locally owned full-service meat market. Tri-County has two great locations, Huebner Road and Ralph Fair, stocked full of everything you need to up your grilling game. If you're looking for the perfect cut of beef, they've got it, and if they don't have it, they'll cut it for you. Roast chicken for $25 is always in play. If you're a first responder, 10% off the best meat you're going to find. Tri-County Meat Market. Head over to either location, put some good meat on the grill, and thank me later.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-420-6060. So if you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-420-6060 to speak with a live person now. Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
At Lowe's, pros save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 230 or more select James Hardie fiber cement siding panels. And there's more. Save 10% when you buy 9 or more select premium foam flooring underlayment. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
African Americans are the most likely to die from colorectal cancer. The most important thing you can do is get screened starting at age 45. Insurance companies are required to cover not only colonoscopy, but also virtual colonoscopy and other less invasive exams. Talk to your doctor about your options. For more information on virtual colonoscopy, visit radiologyinfo.org/virtualct.
Furnished by the American College of Radiology and the Radiology Health Equity Coalition.
Check out the 2024 Basketball Mayhem at sasportstar.com. Enter your best bracket for the chance to win an incredible $1 million prize at sasportstar.com.
That's right. Don't forget to sign up. Your chance at $1 million. All you got to do, pick the perfect bracket. Easy enough, right? Go to sasportstar.com. Make sure to sign up. Joining me right now from the Blitz, Jason Minix, every weekday, 2 to 6, as we deal with two sides of a different coin, it feels like, every day on the radio. And there is what feels like almost the fan side of things in terms of the hyperbolic overreaction, and then the calm, cool, collected, I'm going to take the long-term approach look at this. Although you do mention that you do wear your fandom on your sleeve, you just don't let it get in the way.
Well, I'm trying to figure out which one you're accusing me of being there, and I'm offended by both. I mean, the reality is I am a Cowboy fan. That's no surprise. But I also look at things realistically. Do I want them to do all this stuff? Of course I do. Am I surprised that they haven't? No, because they're doing exactly what, one, they've done, and two, what they said they were going to do. And knowing where they are with their cap, they're a little bit handcuffed. They're not going to be able to be players in the first couple of days of this free agency period. We know they're going to go bargain basement hunting. And the reality is, while it's frustrating as hell right now for every Cowboy fan, it's what they've done the last couple of years. And quite frankly, they put together some really good rosters, scouting guys that are deep in the weeds. And they should get credit for that. They should get credit for the regular season success that they have had. At the same time, they should all be criticized heavily, and they are, for their lack of postseason success that's been coupled with that great regular season success. We're all greedy. We want it all.
We do, but I do feel like it's a little bit hyperbolic, because when I look at Cowboy fans, it's almost the same as what I saw from Texans fans on day one of free agency, where I liked a lot of their moves. They weren't massive splashes, but they made sense to me. But I see a lot of blowback in terms of they've got all this cap space. They didn't make a big move. What needs to get out of there? And I'm thinking last year they didn't make a move in the first week and ended up with one of the greater free agent classes that I can remember. Like, not everything's done on day 1 and 2 of free agency. As a matter of fact, that's usually where a lot of teams get in trouble, overpaying for something. And the teams that overpay usually aren't the best teams that end up getting that player. So usually they aren't that one player away when they end up paying too much money for a player that they probably shouldn't be spending that money on.
I mean, every team and every team's needs and budgets are different, right? GM is different. You know, if Jerry Jones gets accused of a lot of things, but the one thing you can accuse Jerry Jones of doing in free agency this year, last year, 10 years ago, is listening to the fans and trying to do something to get the fan base excited. He knows every year in March, everybody's pissed off at him because that front office doesn't seem to be doing enough, trying to get better. The Giants seem to be better. The Eagles seem to be better. Washington seems to be Washington. So what have the Cowboys done? And it's, he doesn't mind everybody being mad right now because of all things, Jerry Jones is very diligent in the free agent process and patient, which are two words that you don't always use when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, but consistently they have done that in free agency. I'm guessing if there was a player that they really wanted to either go get or to keep, they can find the ways financially to make that work. They've got a plan, and we know that. Will McClay does a good job, great job, and should get a lot of credit for it. And since you bring up Nick Caserio and the Texans and trying to make a comparison, he's got a great quarterback going into year 2, so rookie contract, and a lot of money. Last year, he signed a lot of very smart one-year deals. But Nick Caserio historically hasn't gone out and spent crazy on the free agent market. This year, maybe a little bit more than expected, but he's got the money to do that. He's got the freedom to make a mistake, maybe to overpay a little bit here. And also, I think there's an advantage that he has is because of D'Amico Ryans, because of C.J. Stroud, you also have players that are wanting to come to Houston where last year maybe you had to overpay to get somebody, and he didn't do it. And again, he was able to put together a pretty good roster, but it's not like he's been out crazy spending where you go, man, that's great, but holy crap, what are you doing? I mean, he's smart. It's a similar yet different approach than what the Cowboys are doing.
And I'm trying to, which is tough, be the voice of reason when it comes to the Cowboys and free agency, knowing that this isn't the best option for them. Christian Wilkins at 110, if they had the money or not. What?
Wait. You're the last guy that says voice of reason in Cowboys, just like you're the last guy voice of reason in the Texans. You are very, very skewed, my friend. You might think you're trying to be voice of reason. You're not.
I mean, I'm the one saying don't freak out over their inactivity. I was the one that said Jerry's all-in comments weren't going to be what you thought they were. And he told us exactly what all-in meant to him. We just weren't listening.
Oh, no, we were. We all heard, and we all hear what we want to hear. But in reality, I mean, you are loving the fact that the Cowboys aren't doing anything, and Cowboys fans are freaking out.
No, I'm trying to get everybody to calm down.
You're playing into the hysteria, man. I see what you're doing.
I mean,
voice of reason, my ass.
No, I mean, what would you rather have as a Cowboy fan, especially knowing all of the holes that they have to fill? They aren't a piece away to where you can overspend on something and it be less of a risk than if you were spending that money, because the money is finite for the Cowboys in terms of what they're able to spend and create right now. So what's more important to Cowboy fans? Getting the one splashy name like Derrick Henry, or being able to plug the hole at middle linebacker, defensive line, offensive line, and probably tackle now as well as the center position, because you don't have enough draft picks to realistically be able to fill expect of those picks to where you can realistically fill that many holes?
Well, I mean, multiple part question there, Pledge. But the reality is, you aren't going into the draft expecting to fill every rookie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, teams are 50% on draft. And then how long does it take those guys to be impact players at the NFL level? You expect first round and second round picks to be immediate impact type players. Cowboys didn't get that last year from either of their picks. Year two, you get more out of a Mozzie Smith. Maybe you don't, but you're hoping that you do in your development. But that's where there's lots of free agents out there that are good guys. You talk about the Cowboys and the shiny object and the big name. That is every fan base in the NFL. You get a name that is that guy is a stud. He's maybe helped you in fantasy. With friends that have his jersey. I mean, those are the big time signings that every fan base, not just Dallas, would get excited about. It's signing a player that that you think, man, that guy is going to help. But in reality, I'm sure in Miami, everybody is celebrating Neville Gallimore. A lot of those fans might not even know what Gallimore is going to do, but that's a nice signing. Not a big name, but he's going to be good. Where in Washington, they're getting Bobby Wagner, and they're hoping they get Bobby Wagner from 7 years ago. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the big, but the name. It's those hard half, lunch pail kind of guys that the Cowboys have done such a good job of getting over the last several years that really end up making a big difference. And that's what the Cowboys are going to do. Now, the first part of your question, where do I want them to focus? I need a left tackle. You can go find me a good left tackle. I'm good there. And then I'm going linebacker. I know they're going to be able to find a running back. Now, will it be a running back that excites everybody like a Derrick Henry? It ain't going to be that. It's not Saquon, not going to be that level of running back. And I think, most Cowboy fans, whether they say it or not, probably understand that. But it doesn't excite you. There's no pledgegasm coming for Cowboy fans when they sign their running back. But they're going to find somebody. There will be guys at every position next year starting, and then they're all going to have a backup and maybe even a third stringer too. I'm not worried about them going into the season with 36 guys.
You mean they're actually going to be able to put 53 out there?
And they'll have 48 active on game day.
That's incredible.
And they'll, I mean, dude, it's amazing how that's going to work out.
The one thing that I did see is, and I just wanted your thoughts on it. Jane Slater tweeted out the other day in response to Tony Pollard signing with the Tennessee Titans. What now with running back Tony Pollard gone? Per source, quote, "We're looking at any player that can improve us in the range we can afford. We haven't talked to any guy who has called and listened to what their wishes are." Now, a lot of people are looking at the range we can afford comment. I was looking more at the who has called and listened to them part of it. Like, shouldn't the phone work the other way in free agency?
I think it's a combination of both, and I know it's easy to take a shot at Cowboys arrogance when it comes to that. If you call us and want to work here, we'll entertain that. I honestly, from a realistic standpoint, as bizarre as that came across, and I know Jane Slater extremely well. That's what she was told and exactly how she was told it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the guys that are calling, one, every agent knows if they get the Cowboys in the conversation, that's going to drive the price up for their guys. And the guys that are making the calls are the ones that expect to get a deal done within the first 24, 48 hours. And those are the high price guys. The Cowboys weren't calling around with people that they knew they weren't going to be in the market to get. And from that standpoint, that's the way I read it. Okay. And, maybe I'm being a little naive there, but if I know I can't afford something, I'm not going to call and waste my time. But if you call, I'll listen. Mm-hmm. But I already know that long list of guys They were never truly in play for the Dallas Cowboys. And that tweet, the way it was worded, tells me that. They knew they were never going to be in on Derrick Henry just because they anticipated the price market to be out of their reach. But I think, and A.J. Dillon, you probably called that agent. The Foreman guys, you probably called that agent. The ones that you think you are going to be able to go get, let's go shop in realistic terms. I mean, it might be great when I tell my realtor, this is what I want, and I'm looking at houses. Hey, let's go look at these houses in the Dominion. Your realtor is going to say, don't waste my time. You can't afford the Dominion. We're driving over here to this part of town because these are houses we can afford. That's where I'm going to spend my time if I'm your realtor. That's kind of what I took out of that tweet, although the comments on it were damn entertaining.
That they were. He is Jason Minix. Be sure to catch him and Joe Reinagle every weekday from 2 to 6 right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Jason, thanks for taking some time on your way home.
Dude, I'm already home. I am loving spring break traffic right now.
Hopefully that will carry over, as well as the longer lasting daylight now that you get to see the sun on your way home.
The sun will last until they change it again, which is stupid. But spring break traffic will only last during spring break.
He is Jason Minix, joining us via the Buyers Barricades guest line. They can provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. They are online at buyersbarricades.com. Coming up, more of your phone calls, 210-656-ESPN. That is 210-656-3776. What do you think about the Cowboys free agency or the Texans free agency? Or if you've got another team that you think happens to be crushing it, like the Redskins or Commanders at that point, I guess, as Chargers making some big moves today, restructuring Khalil Mack, cutting Mike Williams, putting a number one wide receiver out on the board. Let me know. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. More NFL free agency reaction coming up right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Time is running out. We're almost sold out. Are you playing at the Golf Club of Texas? Get on it with plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Presented by Sierra Auto Group. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. Then, after your round, join the San Antonio Sports Star gang for the after party, where the Blitz will be live at 90 Proof Bar and Grill on the corner of Highway 90 and Lucky Ranch, 10 minutes from Golf Club of Texas. It's San Antonio's Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation, Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Pork rinds pack a protein punch and are the boldest low-carb snacks out there. Skip the chip and try Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds for that ultimate crunch. And with flavors that will have you craving for more, the time to stock up on Southern Recipe at H-E-B is now. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
When it's time for the March Mania brackets to bust wide open. As I was saying, it's mad. The Mania of March at BetUS.com is all about those buzzer beaters. Bonus off. Man steps onto the BetUS always has your back with back-to-back 125% sign-up bonuses on your first 3 deposits and even 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS.com Sportsbook and Casino, where the game... Join today. BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, where the game begins.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax.
Touchdown!
A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax, 100% natural male enhancement formulas, only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
If you've been thinking about buying a new car or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV,
think Ancira.com. Browse through thousands of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and RVs. Shop for your next new Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Ford, Buick, or GMC. Or if you're looking for an import, we have a huge selection of Kias, VWs, and Nissans. Or for your home away from home, a full line of RVs and campers. And you'll always get the lowest Ancira price, in store or online at Ancira.com.
When was the last time you went to the dentist? Need a new dentist? Hi, Jason Minix here. Go see my dentist at Smile Structure Dentistry and Braces. Smile Structure can handle all your dentistry needs, from general dentistry to oral surgery, orthodontics for the kids, or Invisalign for adults. Mention this ad, get a free exam and x-rays. Veteran owned with 5 San Antonio area locations. Learn more and book an appointment online at smilestructure.com. That's smilestructure.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, it's Jim Rome, and it's great to be back in San Antonio. Join me weekdays at noon on my new home, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I appreciate it for riding along with me this evening as we take you up to 7 o'clock. A couple of moves came through during the break. Not sure if it's 3-note sing worthy, but the Indianapolis Colts found their replacement for Gardner Minshew, who will back up Anthony Richardson next season. It is the NFL's Comeback Player of the Year. That is right, Joe Flacco going to Indy on a 1-year, $8.7 million deal. Also happening during the break, it looks like the San Diego Padres are landing White Sox starting pitcher Dylan Cease. So, boom. Taking a look at Twitter, it's Real Poyle says he's asking for Dobbins, Renfroe, Armstead, Reeder, and Simmons. Too much to ask for Casario to pull off? Delusional, scale of 1 to 10. Well, depends if you want one or all of those players. They're not working with a lot of money left anymore. I think it's somewhere around 18 million. Eric Armstead would be the name I would most associate with them. So that would Other than that, maybe Dobbins, since he'd be on the cheaper end. I know Renfro's probably going to command some cash on the open market. Reader is going to be at least probably 8 to 10. And Justin Simmons, look, I just saw what CJ Gardner Johnson got last night at 11 million per year. If the safety market's that, and those were just accounting things with Simmons and Gardner Johnson and Detroit and others, it's going to be really tough to pull any of those off, much less all of them, considering where they are. Now, they can open up some money with some restructures and possibly cutting a Robert Woods, which would free up, I believe, $6.2 million. But, I mean, currently, Robert Woods is your number 3 receiver. He and Noah Brown, 3 and 4. Hopefully, you address that at some point in the draft. But especially in terms of financially, I'm all for, hey, if you think you're a player away, overpay. It makes sense at that point. The Philadelphia Eagles feel like they're really close. So they've paid over market value on CJ Gardner Johnson, a guy that they have familiarity with. So there's a comfort level there. And Saquon Barkley, who they face twice a year. So there's, I'm sure, another bit of comfort level with those two. You overpaid, but you got them and you're in the middle of your Super Bowl window. I don't think the Texans are as close as the Eagles are, especially when you're talking about playing in the AFC. There's just a much tougher road to even get to a championship game than it is in the NFC. Just look at the teams that are in your way just this past season, much less the teams that didn't make the playoffs or had quarterbacks that are injured, or, Cincinnati, Joe Burrow. There's a lot in your way, especially the one big thing that stands in your way, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. So if you're going to overpay for something, I think you better make it right. You better make sure you hit that if you're close, especially in the AFC. And I don't think the Texans are as close as one player, so it is best for them to kind of spread their money around. And part of that is go get you a defensive lineman. Arik Armstead on the inside at tackle. Boom. Fills a spot that you probably desperately need. Do you need a safety? Sure. Can you possibly address that in the draft early? Also sure. Running back. You've got Joe Mixon on a 1-year deal, so it's not a desperate need, but could you address it in the later rounds of the draft? Absolutely. It is harder to find an impact defensive player like an Arik Armstead than it is to find a receiver in an insanely deep receiver class and possibly get a late hit of someone that could come and start to produce. Plus, let's not forget, you spent a second rounder on John Mechie, who is a year fully removed from his first year back from being diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So there's a lot of prioritizing how you spend your money and where you spend it as an NFL organization, I believe. And that changes drastically for a team like the Cowboys or the 49ers or the Eagles. The Eagles and Cowboys especially, they've already paid their quarterbacks. They are now having to figure out how to build a roster in a different way as a team like Houston or San Francisco, who are dealing with quarterbacks on team-friendly rookie deals, especially the Texans, who are dealing with two of their most premium players on those deals in Will Anderson and CJ Stroud. It just changes the dynamic of how you're able to spend money in the NFL, and I find it absolutely intriguing as roster and maintain viability in the NFL to keep that always closing championship window as open as you can for as long as you can. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 941 FM, sasportstar.com. All right, all you Dak haters, I'm going to buy into it. I'm going to try to figure out the best course of action if you're truly trying to punt Dak Prescott out the door. I'll explain next right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 941 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
The legendary Roger Clemens joined the show.
What do you make of the Astros and Rangers chances as we get ready for 2024?
Well, first of all, I'd say that, we've been spoiled in Houston over the last 7 years.
Totally.
What Mr. Crane and
Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Nigel, what's up with your hair? Joel, prices are insane these days. I'm cutting my own hair.
Folks, nobody likes paying high prices. Good news, for a limited time, all quarter moon 14 SEER AC systems up to 3 tons are installed in your house to take care of your home at the lowest price of the year.
Joel, I like saving money. I'm an influencer. Everywhere I go, people hand me change and say, bless your heart.
Border Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899. License number M16004. DACLA 000743445.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text ENERGY to 200-300 for your free consultation on top-quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text ENERGY to 200-300 right now. Text the word ENERGY to 200-300. Don't wait. Text ENERGY to 200-300.
When it's time for the March Mania brackets to bust wide open. As I was saying, it's mad. The Mania of March at BetUS.com is all about those buzzer beat bonus offers. And when the madness starts and Cinderella man steps onto the BetUS always has your back with back-to-back 125% sign-up bonuses on your first 3 deposits and even 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS.com Sportsbook and Casino, where the game... Join today. BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, where the game begins.
Check out the 2024 Basketball Mayhem at sasportstar.com. Enter your best bracket for the chance to win an incredible $1 million prize at sasportstar.com.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. And before we leave, we got some breaking news according to Tom Pelissero and Adam Schefter. Veteran linebacker Eric Kendricks is expected to sign with the Dallas Cowboys. Schefter saying a change of heart after agreeing to a deal with the 49ers. The former Chargers and Vikings linebacker has decided to go with Dallas instead. Mike Zimmer wanted Kendricks to help run his defense, and Kendricks preferred to play in Dallas. He was a team captain with the Chargers in LA last year, where he started 14 games and led the team with 117 tackles. That's a huge signing for the Dallas Cowboys as we get set to kind of go off into the sunset here. That's going to be very big for Mike Zimmer and having kind of his play caller, the guy that knows the system and knows where everyone should be, is to kind of align the defense, and a really, really good player. And also, by doing this, you kept a really, really good player off of the team that stands in your way in the San Francisco 49ers. So that is a win on multiple fronts for the Dallas Cowboys, as they are on the board with signing a free agent that is not one of their own. Eric Kendricks coming to the Dallas Cowboys. This according to Adam Schefter and Tom Pelissero. That's going to do it for me here on Extra Innings with Pleasure. Appreciate everybody for running through tonight. We will catch you tomorrow right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow, and it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify.